Hello, it's March 1st, 2025. Okay, we're going back to 2009. So in 2009, this young lady, dancer, adult entertainment industry, asked for my help and my psychic abilities. Now, she asked me 5 years before that, 2004. And her situation, she just actually told me. She goes, I want to find my biological mother and my biological father. She was adopted as a baby, like, from birth. But she still wanted to know who her biological mother and father were. The adoption agency would not give her this information. And she told me in 2004 that she's been filing every year since she was 15 or 16 years old, and they've always denied her. So an angel told me in 2004 to tell her to wait 5 years, and then I will help her. Now, sometimes I don't know what the angels mean. It wasn't my two angels that protect me and take care of me and help me. It was another angel. I don't know how many angels there are. There's probably an angel for every person on the planet. But anyway, so 2009 comes around. I tell her I'm ready. She goes, well, what do I do? I said, did you file the adoption papers to find out who your biological mother and father are? She goes, I do it every year. I just gave up. I don't want to do it anymore. I said, do it this year one more time for me. And she goes, okay, if you tell me to do it, because, everybody's got all this faith in me and readings and psychic abilities that I guess they trust. And she's also dating the DJ that the year before I did readings on and helped him through. And he bought a pink rocking chair, and a ghost was there, and he made over $5,000 in wealth. He was very happy. And he believed in me 1,000,000%. And for this thing that I got to do, I figured out I'm going to need both of them. And she has, I think, a 5-year-old son, the young lady, or 7. I can't remember the age. It was a while ago. But anyway, so she files in the adoption papers, and she gets a response, and she gets a name. That's all we need is a name. And also finds out that her mother is deceased. We don't know about the biological father. Not yet. So anyway, she's buried in a cemetery close to Toronto. I think I'm allowed to say Toronto. Anyway, so we take my vehicle, which is reliable, and I take the DJ and her with me and her son to go see this grave. And we head there, and I think she drops off her son at her grandma's because, well, not her biological mother, her foster mother and father, because she thinks he's too young to see this. So anyway, well, cemeteries, I don't know. And so we head out there, and we find the cemetery, and we find the plot where she's buried, and there's a small plaque on it. Now, I'm not getting any information at this time, and my angels are quiet. So then all of a sudden, the angel that came to me, excuse me, 5 years ago to tell me to let this girl wait 5 years shows up. And it tells me, it says, the name on the plaque, there's a name beside it. That person you got to get a hold of. And I says, all we got is a first name. And they says, don't worry. There's more information when you look at the name. And so sure enough, there was a last name somewhere in the small writing on the plaque, and we got that. And we found a phone number. But I needed to know 100% if I was supposed to proceed with this. So I'm not just happy talking to the angel. So I lay down close to the grave, which I've never done this before. And I'm asking for guidance and how to do this. And so all of a sudden, a ghost with another angel comes floating from the trees, because we were beside trees at the time. And the chime starts ringing, and the ghost goes to me. She goes, I am her biological mother. Thank you for taking her here. The chime that's ringing on the tree, have her look at it. The number of the person on the plaque will be on that chime. It'll have my name from the plaque, and it'll have the guy's name and the phone number for her to get in touch with him. And it'll also have all my pictures, all my history, and he will contact you. He will meet you, and he'll meet you for whatever purposes you may need. I gave him the rights to talk to you if you ever seek me out. Now, sometimes, in cemeteries, there's demons and bad things and stuff like that. And I'm a little skeptical about everything too, and I'm a psychic. So I said, listen, you're great and everything, and how do I know you're really her biological mother and you're not some type of different entity? She said to me, she goes, I am going to make a round object fly over my grave. And you, being a psychic, knows that that's not supposed to happen unless it is the person that is in that grave. And this I do know. And she says, and I will make the chimes ring 3 times, and it's my chime. So I get up from laying down and everything and communicating with this ghost and the angel, because an angel brought her down. So that means this entity or ghost is in heaven and just came down for this purpose. So I got up and I explained everything to the DJ and the dancer of what was going on. And then all of a sudden a little white moth started flying around. And they're like, is that it? And I said, no, that's not it. Because that's a living entity. She said it would be something round and it would be an object. So that's not it. Then about 2 seconds later, a golf ball comes flying over her grave, hits the tree, and lands right on her grave. And as it hits the tree, the chime rings. And I explained to him about the chime ringing 3 times, and that's her chime. Because when I was laying down and she did the chime thing, I couldn't explain it to the other 2 people. So then the second time it chimed, I said, okay, let's look for this chime when it does it again, because there's a lot of chimes on this tree. You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to distinguish which one is hers? Then all of a sudden, the third one, it chimed for a 3rd time. Bang, we found it. We got it. And there was a name on it, her name, the phone number, the plot has a number on it. So I guess if you went through all the chimes, you would have probably found it eventually. But we got it on the first time because she made it chime. And sure enough, we called the phone number. A week later, we met with them. This time she brought her son because she wanted her son to see all the pictures and everything, which I told her there would be pictures, there'll be information. One thing they didn't say is I says, you'll meet one bad son. You have 2 brothers, one good, one bad. You'll meet the bad one. And she goes, why? And I'm saying, like, I can't control what's going to happen. You do have a little communication with the good one, but not much. But anyway, she did get all the pictures and she did get all the information. And this person that had all these pictures and information about her was in love with her. And we found out that she was a quadriplegic and that she gave the rest of her life after she gave up her daughter for adoption to help the poor and innocent, which I thought was admirable of her. And as she passed away, she got pregnant with an orderly at the hospital, which we won't say. There's no names to be mentioned. And she did fall in love with this orderly. So the dancer was conceived of love, which is the most important thing. I think, well, it's important to be conceived at all. Yeah, and she met the bad brother, and that didn't go over well. And I think she got closure. It was a happy thing. And I think it was a miracle, to tell the truth. She thanked me over and over and over again. I said, that's nice. It wasn't really necessary to thank me. It's something I'm supposed to do. I told her that. She didn't understand it. But I don't understand it sometimes. So anyway, it got done. The DJ, he was amazed as like usual, but he wasn't surprised. And neither was she. They both seen things that I've done in the establishment where we were working that was just amazing. But I work for God, so it's not me. And I tell them that. I said, listen, I'm driven by an entity much more powerful than anything we can imagine or even understand. Because I still don't understand God. But I'm working on it. Thank you. Bye.